afternoon. How's everybody? My name is Frank Williams. I am the administrator of the Division of Infrastructure Management in the Department of Public Service for the City of Columbus. Thank you for being here today. It has been about 6 weeks since e-scooters first appeared here in the City of Columbus, and at the direction of Columbus Mayor Andrew Ginther and our Director of Public Service, Jennifer Gallagher, we've been working collaboratively with the Department of Public Safety, the Department of Recreation and Parks, the Department of Health, as well as the Office of the City Attorney. The vendors have been a part of this and others to bring some common sense guidelines for the use and storage within the public right-of-way. We've looked at best practices from other cities around the country and from national transportation groups. We looked at rider issues and concerns as well as concerns from the public. Recently, we issued guidance from the city for vendors as well as to where e-scooters and bikes for short-term rental can be stored in the right-of-way. And we continue to work collaboratively with both city team and vendors on how to provide guidance to users going forward. As this is a fast emerging industry, it is important to put in place rules and regulations that allow for our residents and visitors to use these new devices as an additional option for mobility. It is equally important that we manage the public's right-of-way from a place of safety and efficiency. Here to talk about where we've been and where we're going as it relates to scooters, please welcome our Mayor, Columbus Mayor Andrew Ginther.
Thank you, Frank, and thank you all for joining us here today. I want to thank Frank for all of his diligent work and Director Gallagher and their team. Also our Departments of Public Safety, Health, City Attorney's Office, Smart Columbus, Byrd and Lime, and City Council, who's represented here today by the Chair of the Public Service and Transportation Committee, Councilmember Emmanuel Remy. We have been working hard for the last several weeks to put in place some common sense guidelines for e-bikes, scooters, and dockless bikes. We are excited about the expanding options to navigate our great city. It's our responsibility to both promote these mobility options and protect everyone sharing the road with bikes, e-bikes, and e-scooters. Last week, we released rules for vendors of mobility devices. As you all know, Byrd and Lime are the current two businesses operating here in Columbus. They have been good partners in helping us develop these common sense guidelines around safety. Today's announcement focuses on riders, which is a two-pronged approach. First, code changes are required. So we will be presenting Columbus City Council with proposed legislation by the end of the week. The legislation addresses issues including where mobility devices can be operated, such as keeping them on the roadway and not on sidewalks. Until this point, our city codes have not been clear on where scooters can operate. This proposed legislation clarifies the issue and makes it safer for scooter operators, pedestrians, and drivers. In addition, the proposed legislation includes what safety precautions riders must take, such as yielding to pedestrians, navigating traffic and bike lanes, and following current traffic regulations. Again, clearly emphasizing safety. Finally, the proposed legislation also lays out how the city defines shared mobility devices now and in the future. In this era of quickly evolving technologies, we must be nimble in protecting safety without stifling innovation. I am pleased with the legislation proposal our team has put together, and I'm confident the Columbus City Council will thoroughly and thoughtfully review this legislation before taking a vote. In the interim, I have directed Public Service Director Gallagher to put in place emergency temporary rules and regulations that direct riders of e-scooters to ride to the roadway and off of sidewalks. I expect these rules to be in place by next week, Once the emergency rules are activated, we will begin community education to move riders off of the sidewalk and other right-of-way guidelines. Once legislation is in place, we'll be able to ticket for violations. Again, I'm grateful for the teamwork and collaborative efforts in putting the rules and proposed legislation in place. I'm available for one-on-one interviews, as is Director Gallagher, Frank Williams, and I think we have representatives from both Byrd and Lime that have been working with us available for comment as well. Thank you all for coming here today.